Hello and welcome to Face on Channel 1 Television. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. My guest today has expertise in the health sector. He's a practitioner and is also a lawmaker. We'll be dissecting the issues that are arising from there, because this week we do know that our OPDs have become non-functional because health practitioners, the nurses, have laid down their tools and simply decided that they'll not work. They say that their conditions of service are not very good. Also, the National Health Insurance Scheme has been in the news over the appointment of a, well, I don't know what I should say, self-styled doctor into the board and all the issues arising from there. And in the NPP itself, where this member of parliament belongs to, there is a race to replace Dr. Bawumia as flag bearer. Would he be chosen again, or someone else would be brought in his stead? Now, it is too early yet, but that debate is already raging with various campaigns ongoing. He was an integral part of the Dr. Bawumia campaign. I'll be speaking to him about that. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. I'll introduce my guest when we come back. Well, on Face to Face today, my guest, he attended Tema Secondary School for what it's worth, and he's member of parliament for Effiduase Asokore in the Ashanti region, and member of the Environment Committee of Parliament. He's a ranking on the Health Committee of Parliament. Honorable, you're welcome. You're previously the chairman of the Health Committee.
Absolutely.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I mean, tables are 10, and you have to also 10.
I know, so you're on the left side now.
Absolutely.
Kafra, why? Is it Effiduase Asokore Mampong, or there's no Mampong in the name of your constituency?
It's a Effiduase Asokore constituency.
So there's no Mampong in the name? There's no Mampong. But you have a Mampong town in your...
Yes,
I don't know.
I have a Mampong in me. It's interesting. This morning, the Mampong part of me, my dad is a Kwapim,
Okay.
And then from Mampong Kwapim.
Oh, so you have chief...
You have his team, have Ashanti.
You are the
Ashanti,
strong
your mom is Ashanti. That's it. But the Mampong Hene from Ekwapim called me, or two that called me this morning that they are in Mampong in Ashanti region.
Okay. Why?
Because the Mampong Kontonchi of Ekwapim migrated from Mampong in Ashanti, so they've go there to pay homage to Dasebre, as we also did with our Mia yesterday.
So the Ashanti Mampong is connected to the Eastern Mampong?
Yes, Mampong. So the history is that the Kontenchi Mampong of Ekwapim migrated from the same Kontenchi Mampong of Ashanti region.
Interesting. So yeah. After you, you are hard blue, both sides. You are from the two regions that, you won 3 regions in the last election, but the 2 regions that you claim you can win elections with.
For the MPP.
What happened to you in 2024? You were very confident. The Middle Belt, you said you were going to destroy you were in charge of the Middle Belt.
Yes,
for
I was
in
charge
campaign.
Of the
You got Middle Belt include the Brong Ahafo region, right?
Yeah.
You got 1-1-1 in the 3 Bono regions. Why? I mean Parliament.
As in 1 seat.
1 seat each.
Oh yeah, we lost.
Bono is the last, you didn't get anything at all.
No, we had 1. And
then Bono you got
South.
Bono you got 1.
Yes, German South.
And then Ahafo you got 1.
Yes, North also 1.
Charlie, that's what happened.
It was
even Ashanti.
Ashanti was.
You lost nearly 10 seats.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah, we did about 39.
Yeah.
So it's 8, and then we lost Akrofu Madansi Asokwa, and then Ahafo Southeast.
What happened
to join them? Well, it's just the factors that didn't favor the MPP economy and several other reasons why the people were not comfortable to go and vote. I think that we are clear in our lines of action. We were guided by research, and honestly, anybody who would come to you on the campaign know that by the start of February, baseline research were down. Yeah, we're down. I don't want to mention names of those doing the research, but it's a hardcore one. It got to a point whether people have to accept or not, they have to contend with. But the one who does the research, who is listening to me, knows that I, as a science person, is moved by empirical evidence. And bad or not, I look at it and look at how to go about it. Some of them were beyond me, some of them was a decision made by the people already. So from a baseline of about 30-something to about ending 40-something, for me, it wasn't bad. And consistently, the same research told us that even greater crowd were doing at 26. And so, and what happened?
So as of February 2024?
Yeah, the baseline one.
So it means that, so as of February 2024, you were certain that you were not going to win the election?
We're low. We were on our marks were not good. So when Bawumia started the campaign, he left had hopes and things started changing. But we were still faced with issues of reality. Did
it occur to the campaign team that there was no way you were going to win the election in 2024, but you still kept pushing anyway?
Yeah, we kept pushing. Not the midline one, the one they did in October, that said President Mahama was about 4 or 5 percentage points ahead of us. Was the real one that hit everybody. So for me, my understanding from the flag bearer scenario was get in, let's get going. We have what we have seen before in Ejuso to show turnout was low. We have what we have seen before in Central Region, turnout is low. For him, he thinks that the turnout would be the issue. When the turnout scenarios were looked at, we look at turnout scenarios. If the scenario is more of like 70%, we will win. If 60, yeah, but we will lose. So, Dr. Bawumia, our heads were straight up. Nobody goes to election thinking we are going to lose. Even when the research is like that, don't let it deter you. Let it be a guide.
But it didn't destroy the morale in campaign.
It did not. We just look at the whys. And some of the whys were within our limit. Some of the whys were. But it's so interesting, the research was always saying that they like Bawumia as a fine material. Then you look at the other from the economy, from roads, from development, from perception of us, arrogance, and a whole lot of stuff that hits you. And you don't know how to change it. I faced one in my constituency as a subset, yes. By God's grace, I was able to lift my constituency Parliamentary 64% in 2020 to 75%. So in Ashanti region, probably I lifted my constituency votes by a nominal vote of only about 2,200 when everybody was dropping.
So as of October, at the presidential level, you were in the Titanic, you could see the iceberg. There was no way to maneuver away.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Did you think there was a way you could maneuver?
Yes, I mean, heads were up, so we put the strategy, get out to vote. And
so you needed more vote to come?
Yes, so when you see that Go TV, I'm sure you've heard it.
Yeah.
So when you see Go TV, why would the strategy be Go TV? It means that the people have seen something that is telling them that let us do something that will get the people out to go and vote.
Unfortunately, it didn't work.
It didn't work, yeah. So when the scenario was just like the first scenario, if it goes up, we will win. If it goes low, we will lose. When it went low, you didn't need the rocket scientists to tell Dr. Bawumia you have to concede.
So did the research from February through October inform the early concession?
Yeah, I think many people had made their mind sort of, and turnout was the issue. So the strategy should have been pure on turnout. It is not a government in power is your people who will not go and vote. It's you lose because they won't go and vote. And every MP
but I'm asking that, is that why he quickly conceded, because he already
because the scenarios were on turnout. So Dr. Bawumia knows that if the turnout is so low, we are not going to win. He knew that if the turnout crossed this point, we were going to win. And the turnout, when he was observing it, was clear, was within a range that was, you can't do anything about it.
Okay, so you were saying that the people said they liked Bawumia. So does it mean that
a lot of the research, I'm sure, a couple of research that he did by his personality, by religion was not a factor
at all.
Anybody who says religion was
even
a factor,
though your former colleague in Parliament who wants to be flag bearer thinks so, there's a conversation.
Where is the evidence? Where is his evidence? Is it a subjective one? I mean, we are in a scientific.
He's looking at the votes.
We talk hard truth. He knows I talk hard truth. There's no sense in that. There's no sense in that. There's no sense in that. There's
in
no
what
sense.
Honorable Kennedy?
Absolutely, there's no sense in that, because yes, I must be.
But there could be truth in it.
There is no sense in that, because the party has done its research, and the party is calculated. Now, the research that Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu did, they led in Ashanti region. It's more of a reflection of what the National did. But you see, the National is saying that we don't want people to know how it went. so that we can correct it so we don't get ridiculed in public. I disagree with the stance of the National
You
Executive.
think they should be publicized?
I believe in that. It should be out. Heal the people.
The
of course,
if
you've lost election, be teased. Let them use against you. Ghanaians understand that they will heal from that. Now, let me tell you something. Now, get into why you lost. And in 2-3 years, they'll focus on what you are doing that is better, regardless of how your opponents will ridicule you. Who says your party people voted because some of your party people voted against you? They voted for the NDC. Another research show about 20-25% of our people voted for the NDC. And then some didn't vote at all.
So are you saying that if the national work that you did as a party is publicized, we will not see in there that religion played a part? Which will corroborate what
all the research works that had been done, religion was absolutely insignificant, 0.9%, 1 point something, totally insignificant.
But he must definitely be holding on to something.
So let my colleague bring the research that was
your
done.
Your former colleague, he has left you now. He's now looking high.
So my former colleague should bring the research that shows that it was based upon Christianity. Excuse me, if you go to Manshia North, the largest church there is a Presbyterian church that they voted in there. On the day they declared the results, the church was almost about 20 people or 25. The church didn't function. A lot of churches in the Ashanti region didn't function. Can you go and ask the Christian church and the Christian council in the Ashanti region, the heart of the MPP, just use it as a case study. Can you find out from pastors from there how their church fared when we lost elections on that day?
They were not happy.
Disappointment in individuals reflected in the church.
But what if
in my constituency in Effiduase Asokore, my local council can testify that many churches didn't function on that
What
day.
if Kennedy Japon is doing a listening tour? He's hearing from the grassroots, and he's referred to as a grassroots.
It has been his position from day one. That's why I said it's subjective.
There's no merit in it?
But apparently there's no merit in it. And this is sensitive stuff that can destroy a country. And everybody's just looking at this.
But it's also stuff that could lose you votes or gain you votes.
But where is the evidence? Where's the empirical evidence? That shows that a Muslim cannot be a president in this country. A Buddhist cannot be. I'm a Presbyterian. And I've fellowship also with my church in Mount Calvary. What church that Ken Japon attend? What's his church?
I don't know.
My God. I mean, look, I don't believe in this, please. I'll be very happy if you can steer this topic away from
it would be
Christian Muslim thing.
It will be recurring throughout this campaign.
It is a topic today that I've just seen on Ghana Web. It is a topic. And I listened to the audio. I said, my God. But Ken and me are very good friends. And straight talk. I'm looking forward to a time we'll have a straight talk. A very hard talk on this issue. A very hard one.
He will finish.
But you see, on this issue, also I'll come prepared with the very research that they have done, and he also come with his research.
He will tell you that you have lost the election simplicity. That's what it is.
It is subjective. I'm telling you that's not because of that. Then I will talk that a lot of churches, one-man churches collapsed because of you and how you attack the pastors. So then you were setting the MPP up to fail. Look, you're going into a realm that is going to be interesting.
So ethnicity we talk about in our elections. Religion has always not been an issue, except the fact that we pair our candidates Muslim, Christian mostly, but there are times that there's been a Christian.
Have Christians and Muslims, and he went for primaries and won. Mm-hmm. The MPP have Christians and Muslims, and they will go and vote again. If MPP don't like Bawumia, they don't like him because they just don't like him.
There's a view that Ken Japon is a
Ken Japon's backyard, Asen Central, was won by an MP who is a Muslim.
He didn't stand.
He should speak to it.
So it defeats the argument.
Ken should speak to it. First from home. Why? A Muslim in Asen Central won a seat that he has won for probably 4 terms or 5 terms. That's time to be corrected. What is the reason to that? That's the first question I'm asking. What's the reason to that?
There's a view that Ken Japon is a Donald Trump of our politics. He speaks the street language, the street will react same, and that he is a big threat to your campaign, and I mean the Dr. Bawumia campaign. What do you say to that?
The many people who didn't vote for the MPP didn't vote for several reasons. And a couple of work is ongoing that is showing some of the reasons. Now it is a challenge. Ken's position is a challenge on the MPP party leadership to bring out why we lost. Ken's position, which is going to be subjective attacks on each other, is not going to solve the issue.
So you speak to the NEC
now. He has
now.
challenged the NEC to release the MPP results. And this is a challenge. And the NEC and the leadership of the MPP must publish why we lost.
You will subscribe to that?
I'm going to crusade on this. And we are going to push them to bring this out, because Ken says that we lost because Mahomia was a Christian. We want the Profokwe committee to speak to let us know why we lost.
You want evidence published?
We want it published.
Which means you're very confident that if the report is brought out, it will not show that. What if it is
will
brought
definitely
out?
not show that, because Oseche's committee's work in Ashanti region is a mirror of that. It will never be different. Ashanti encapsulates various sectors and various areas of this party and has been the heart of the party. The direction actually determines who wins. And I'm telling you that Oseche's work, 1.2% said so. And therefore it was negligible or insignificant. So Ken's position is challenging the National Executive Council and the national leadership. And the national leadership should publish the Profokwe committee now. We need to know why we lost.
Okay. So you're saying that religion is not the reason. Economy, there's issue of arrogance. I mean, of the 8 years would also be a factor, a number of issues, but not religion. That's for presidential. What about parliamentary? Your defeat was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
When you watch the last time you guys wore black and went to parliament to protest, you were like a black dot in a sea of NDC MPs.
My brother, just like when I lost elections and I went to my hospital and my staff, annual deba, December, almost about 200 something staff. When they saw me, before they even said congratulations to me, almost said, honorable, wow. I have a very good relationship with my people, and I always tell them that you're NDC people. But you have to work. When it's work, you just have to do West Ghanaian. You should always
they mocked you small.
Oh, they mocked me, but I just laughed at them.
Yeah.
I like that. That's okay. It's politics. It doesn't really matter to work. But look, we lost the elections heavily. Yahweh, that's it. We lost. Everything went against us, and we lost. So the issue at stake is that the parliamentary seats, we didn't do well.
But they usually say that parliament election is local, it's not national. So
but
MPs will lose or win based on
when the central
issues.
government factors are highly against you, you pay for it. Because normally, it's very interesting. A lot of money comes from central government to help you. And common fund support goes to assembly to help. But you know what? The local indigenes don't care about this. They care about who they vote for. So when they are upset with their system, they only baptize the MP with it.
But they will say that, after the MP, you can be local. You go to funerals, you go to weddings, and you are fine, even if you're presidential candidate.
When they don't appreciate your system for not their road, for their bridges, for their things, and they've said over, and you keep, unfortunately for you, when you are in the line of fire, you'll be responding for central government and defending.
Even though you cannot.
Even though you cannot. And you will be taking steps on it. And it's not yielding. So when they are angry, they'll baptize you, the MP. They'll baptize the party. They'll baptize the MP.
And so that's what you see.
Yes, a couple of MPs lost, not because it was about them. Some people will lose because probably, like you said, some sort of arrogance. They don't see you. But obviously, a research will show it will be a certain percentage. But subjectively, I have a strong feeling that the central government effect has an association on how an MP will perform.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, your defeat. So all the factors that have been mentioned, you have not mentioned Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of the land. What is your view about his role in your defeat?
I would want to yield that one to the findings of the report of the national, the Michael Quay report. Now that Japan is saying that we lost because Bawumia was a Christian, we want them to publish it. Let us get to know everybody's show. Maybe my name is even part of it. So I would want us to publish it so we all get to know whoever.
But you talk heart talk, and I want your heart opinion or your frank opinion on the performance of, I mean, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president?
Yes, I still would want to come by a position that I think that he's a statesman. He served his purpose. His term is over. For me, in MPP now, his position is more advisory. It doesn't matter in our operations or what we are doing.
But do you think he led you into this?
Into this,
Yeah.
Obviously, there will be there will be roles of government. There will be his role. There will be our role. There will be my role. There will be the party's role. Everybody is part of it. And Ken has challenged us this morning. I didn't know whether the interview
I don't want you
was
to move
slated,
no,
and then it's met Ken's position.
But Ghana Web crowd here, you have interest there, don't you?
Yeah, Ghana Web. This man.
And they publish the story.
But the Ghana Web definitely.
It's an aggregator.
Maybe I may be associated to it from afar, but they do their work, and I have.
You don't call them and say that.
I'm sure the work you do. You don't. No. I'm sure the people there they don't even know me. And wherever I don't. That is my position. I'm a liberal person.
Okay.
Do your work and let me do mine. I mean.
So you don't want to comment on Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I'm sure it is good for us if my name could be in, his name could be in, everybody's name could be in. But let them publish their report.
Is it true that he's not supporting Dr. Bawumia in the next primaries?
So are the hearsays. I've not met him personally and have interactions with him, but there are many hearsays like that.
It's going to be a tough one for you if he's not supporting you, don't you think?
I don't think so.
Because he literally politically groomed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's like the umbrella under.
But like the last primaries that we came together to help Bawumia, individuals did so based upon merit, and that is where will be a shocker to people. There are many appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo who hold Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo high. But when it comes to opinion, there are some who are very loyal and will listen to you. And there are some who would just do Bawumia out of love and still will love Nana Addo for who he is, and they value him for that.
We have a former Minister for Agric interested in running, Dr. Brenda Champo, your colleague in Parliament.
Yeah.
Of course, you have Kennedy Japon there. We have a few other people also in the background. You're not worried?
I'm not worried at all. We were in the campaign and saw that Bawumia won on merit. And let's be honest to ourselves. I'm sure it's not because he's not a president, but the former president knows that very much, that the campaign we did, he was not involved in it. And if Bawumia won, probably he was proud of him because he played that statesman's role. And if there were any people who like Nana Addo, who like Bawumia, they like Bawumia genuinely, and they still do. And it's like a family. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo may not support Bawumia now, but there are many people around him, close with him, who also like Bawumia.
If it emerges that
okay.
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is not or will not support Dr. Bawumia, would you feel betrayed?
Not at all, because the first election he was not involved in it, and then we did it our own way.
Are you sure you can win again this time around?
I've been somebody you saw doing AFAG, and then we did all.
Yeah.
And people say I didn't get the appointment because I was Kofo, I was Alan, and I said yes, I'm okay with anywhere. I am okay with that. I mean, Bawumia is a liberal person that took everybody around him. People around Bawumia are pro Nana Addo, pro Kofo, pro Alan, and he works with you based upon who you are. He doesn't really care about where you are. So for me, that is what did the trick. A lot of MPs who were potentially, you can call whatever stock we came from, we had a lot of sympathy for him. Like, you can't use somebody and dump him. You cannot just get somebody like, if you think you are not fit to be running a president, let it be a lesson now that you are not fit to be a running mate.
I'm going to take a break, and producers, forgive me, but how about your former colleague from Asia South, your running mate?
Okay.
What was his role in your defeat?
So I've not read any publication about him that is showing that he had any major role.
If you're given the chance again, would you opt for him to be your running mate?
But that is supposed to be the prerogative of whoever wins the elections.
What's the view of the Middle Belt campaign coordinator?
My view about Napo.
Yeah.
Any role I gave him to do in my area, he played it well. And if, as a human being, he has his excesses, he has to work on it. If he has his strength, God bless him. But if it's about running me, it's the prerogative of the flag bearer, whoever wins. That's it.
This is Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. My guest, Dr. Ayew Afriye. He's formerly of AFAG, the Alliance for Accountable Governance. Now that they are in opposition, they may likely wake up and start demonstrating. That's if he doesn't join his leader to go on a walk to Iyoko and go and sit on the pavement and all of those things. But currently, he's a member of Parliament. He's a member of the Health Committee. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the health sector generally and the strike by nurses. Please stay with us.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
This is Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. From former MP Kennedy Japan, let's talk about former Finance Minister, another Kennedy, but he's Oforiatta.
Right.
He's, well, I'm not sure. The OSP says we don't know where he is. He may be in the Cayman Islands, he may be South Africa, but generally we are hearing that he's in the United States of America. Last week, the OSP, headed by its boss, Kisi Japin, decided to put him on a red notice, Interpol red notice. Interpol has actually gone ahead to do that. We are told that he's not well. The special prosecutor thinks he's using his health as an excuse to evade justice. What's your view?
Yeah, frankly, I would say he's not well.
You know that?
Yes, I've had opportunity to get my mates working in Mayo Clinic, having conversation with them, confidential as it is. And I also had opportunity to speak with him, and I wanted, that was around January or February, yeah. And I think that really much he's under treatment. Really, I don't believe in politicization of people's health, and that's why I wrote strongly on Jane Nana's position, Your Excellency, by a month ago or so on my Facebook page, that politicization of people's health was not my thing, and I wish him well to go and come back, and we love her. And I would measure her, the measure for her is the same as I would do for Ken. I wouldn't want to say that for Nana's own, I did that based upon any, I don't know her, and she's not in my party, but I wish her well, because as a professional medical doctor, I'm guided by ethics as well. Ken is not well, so nothing stops the OSP to write to the hospital for them to give an update of his health status, which they would know what to do. They will give you an update that yes, he's here. They might not even give you the diagnosis. He's going to go a certain treatment. It will take this. They would know. I mean, hospital knows what to give, not to breach privacy. The OSP had a right to get this medical legal sort of advice, and then with this position, take a decision on Ken that, okay, based upon this, that they will discharge him after a surgery. That will take this period of time. We expect our clients to be ready. Then he can also seek a position from even the Ghana Medical Association. They have a committee, ethics, and the rest of them that can advise him and guide him. That given this circumstance, it's likely he might take 2-3 months. And so from this, you can go after him. He didn't do that. Ken has to account for Ghanaians, however much they feel about him. Accountability, nobody would escape that. Anybody in the executive government should know that Ghanaians now, where we are, you're always going to account. And nobody should do politics with it. So Ken has to account, he has to account. So that's one, let me put it aside. But
so you're not opposed to he coming to respond to questions from the OSP?
I'm not opposed, but why should I be opposed to it? The people gave you a mandate and they want you to account for it. Why should I be opposed to it? But when he's not well, coincidentally, and then you don't want to show any empathy, and you want to feel, no, come, then it becomes political.
But if you have given him enough room to go and get treatment and he keeps giving excuses.
No, the excuses will not be given by him. That's why you need to write to the clinic.
But should it be the business of the SP to be writing to the clinic?
Anybody can seek opinion in any form that you are not clear about.
The SP says there are people who are suffering from graver issues, but they still show up at the police stations to answer questions. Ken should do say.
And now that he's been slated for surgery, it's a cancer. You don't know the stage that it is, but the GMA could have helped you to have spoken to their colleagues or write to them as doctors. That one, they will give them information as it is, and they can advise you. You have all it takes to have midline people who have no interest in this case who have helped you. You didn't do that.
But what is the health risk now? Now that he has been put on Interpol red notice, it means that
But if he arrives in Ghana and they take his passport away from him and they cannot take care of him, then he's finished. And that would also be disinteresting. I mean, at the end of the day, Professor Jenana was not well. We could have kept her in all hospitals in this country. She went abroad for the sake of life, for the sake of country. If there are some advanced care, advanced care, don't fight it. Like I wrote on my Facebook page, there are some advanced subspecialty care you don't have in the country. As a country, step by step, we'll get there eventually. So our practice is not traditional medicine, it's orthodox medicine, and they are always advanced, so we catch up. So if she has gone, don't start talking about taxpayers' money. We're talking about life. Save her life, and you're talking about this. Something you don't have becomes more of like ego. I'm Ghanaian. The person needs to be saved.
Wherever he'll get the help.
Get it and come, and now let's talk about the rest.
My point is that now that he has been put on the red notice, it means that any officer of the law in that jurisdiction, if they've seen this, they could go and arrest him. Which means he could be extradited.
I think the indiscretion on the part of the OSP was high. We've seen that before. Late Banredu had to go and do a prostate surgery in South Africa also and couldn't return. He was also a finance minister, probably out of fears and everything. He also thinks that, Jack, I have to save my life. But they cannot put you on surgery, discharge you and say forever, you'll be in bed. That one, OSP has a case, but you have not exhausted the certain limit to which you can take a decision. That is my problem.
Yeah, my point is that what if he's arrested now and brought back
home? If you go and arrest him and bring back, take his passport and you are there, and then he goes and then the cancer moves from stage 1, stage 2, start moving into the blood, it metastasizes and he dies. He dies and you don't get your information. If that's what you want, that's fine.
Let's talk about the health sector generally. The National Health Insurance Scheme. I don't know if you were on the board the last time you were in government, but you do follow the NHIS.
I do.
And as a hospital, you as a hospital owner, you know what the NHIS is. Yeah. It has been in the news for the wrong reasons, but the president acted, and many think it was a very proactive action. I'm referring to the member of the board of the NHIS. The issue about her doctorness. What do you know?
The issue about her doctorness, that was legitimized by your sister station. You media men are also a problem, because when you put anybody to be a doctor on your platform without any due diligence on the person, in our sort of society, literacy, we are getting there eventually, but there's a challenge in the system.
But
when people see you on CTFM and call doctor, and I'm not a doctor, and I keep always being a doctor. Look, you can even open a practice in your house because they say, oh, on CTFM, he's a doctor there. Look, if you see her on EIB network on what's the name of the TV, GH1 TV, and he's on, he's talking health and co. Look, somebody sent me a video. He said she can use painkillers, like then he mentioned Motrin, Insate, like ibuprofen, which is about the same drug and different brand name. Is funny. Then she even added chloroquine, and I'm like, gee, so really, so I have written to the network, giving them 1 week. Last week Friday, they have up to Friday to let us know the due diligence they did to take her to give her. And I've also asked the Ghana Medical Association to let us know if people have a right to sit and give health information with them. And they have a monitoring intelligence department, investigative department at the Medical and Dental Council. And theirs is to monitor people and find you and track you. So they also have to come and answer to us. if they knew about her and what they did about it. Now, we've also asked them to find from their colleague. They have the sisters, they have international union. So if you are Umaru Sanda, and then I'm Umaru Sanda, and then I'm in the US, and they are saying that you are not a doctor, they have to write to my sister, our sister association. They will find this Umaru Sanda is age days, giving birth days, schooled over here, practice here, and this is the picture. This is the one. Now you can then compare to another Umaru Sanda in Ghana who says, is this one abroad? And you can find out for yourself. But so
has it been proven that she's not a doctor?
That is them. They are the laws in the countries where this is the Medical and Dental Council are responsible for that. That is why the minority has written to them, giving them a week to give us the feedback.
But my question is, why are we questioning her doctor? What if she's a doctor? What if she is?
She could be a doctor. I don't know.
Or based on what you have seen her say and do.
Whether it's a doctor med or a medical doctor, whether it's a herbalist, I don't know which of them. Which
or PhD
is a PhD doctor. I don't know whether.
No, but from everything,
an honorary doctorate. I can't speak for her. But when the Medical and Dental Council gets back to us that this is from the US licensing authority, we have a certain Andali, this is the picture, this is her detail, this way it work. We'll compare to hers. We don't have this one, it is there. So I cannot, if I do, you say it's political. So let me leave to the state institution, that's not political, to give us a
Why do we need to scrutinize her in particular?
Because others can be emboldened by this and do same. That is it. For me, if you don't check this, others, there are some people who are still. Do you know the story of people carrying themselves as doctors has been there for a long? Yeah. A lot of charlatans in the system.
Yeah.
And the Medical and Dental Council has been doing work and clamping them, arresting them. Some are being jailed, and some are still being emboldened. Now, the difference in this one is where the persons have some sort of political associations. That is where it's dangerous. So if you don't take this one serious, there come a point that I will become a lawyer. You're going to law school, you're a lawyer. And I will be Lawyer Afriye, because Lawyer Afriye is associated with the MPP, and he's bold to be on city, on other show and says lawyer. And then eventually, I'll be a lawyer, because this political class, you can't touch them.
You've been made a
There's
lawyer.
Insurance. It makes you a lawyer. So that is what we want to learn from this one, where your association to any political class does not give you a right to be who you have to
But
be.
the political class now, in this instance, has dumped her. They've removed her from the board. The president has removed her from the board.
Oh, but even,
it's a big deal, isn't it?
Yes, even it's a big deal. Even when you get to that stage where they saw it and removed it, which is good, which means that we did something wrong.
Are there any questions that the government has to answer?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the ability for you to have made that decision, the due diligence, is still a gap. Ignorance is no excuse. You need to learn from it. So we are interested in learning from it. Now, for me, it was legitimized by a radio or TV station giving her a position to work.
So for you, take issue with GH1 and giving her the platform.
That is where the minority is. We are on them. We've asked questions, and we are interested in the answers that will help others. You will speak openly, and those who intend to do so in future, they will all realize that that's not a place in Ghana. Maybe
someone comes to them and says the doctor, she wants to come and be doing education program.
Yes, so first of all, what do you have to do? You need to find her name, find her credentials, find where you find your CV and go. Yeah, I don't expect City FM having got into that program. The president say, I want to do a legal program and give free legal advices to people. And the person say, I'm lawyer. So okay, we need lawyers, so go and start. No, I don't think you do that.
But is it not a societal problem? We've had a fake award given to us by a man who claimed to be Dr. UN.
Me and you, telling me I struggled to go through Tamasco O-levels. I did sixth form in Ghana National. I did my national service. I taught in Chemu Secondary. I taught in Datus. I've struggled to raise money to go to medical school, Ghana Medical School. Hey, and you just come in like that and look, Mahasa, it doesn't work like this. Umaru, it doesn't work like that. No.
How is the health sector looking like under your colleague MP for Dwaboso?
Well, he's facing some challenges, and the current challenge now is the nurses' strike action. Yes.
How would you have dealt with it differently? Because strikes by labor unions is a recurring issue. You've had your own...
The health sector.
Yeah, I mean, generally.
The sector and the health sector is one turbulent area. That when you get in, definitely, you should always be ready for your strategy.
Yeah, so,
taming
I mean, it
distance.
started with, we saw that whole fracas at the hospital in Kumasi.
I must be very honest with you, when he was the ranking member, I had his cooperation when there was strike action from the Ghana Medical Laboratory.
He was assisting you.
Basically, I said to him that we don't need to politicize this, because when people die, you can't bring them back. So I spoke to the committee, and when they are listening to me, they know that it's true. We met at this committee. I pleaded with them not to politicize it. So you didn't see NDC ranking on that lab coming. Rather, we brought the laboratory people to the committee, and together we were able to speak and engage with them. Any differences they had with the ministry, we asked them to go and work. So it's on document. If you Google, you see that they said they are going to work because of the parliamentary committee's engagement. The current strike action that is there, I would say that it is more from the Professional Psychiatry Association, Professional Psychiatry Nurses Association of Ghana.
There's Ghana Registered Nurses Midwives Association as well.
Yeah, but they have the CB, the Collective Bargaining Certificate,
Yes.
the CBC.
Yes.
And
They're saying that the
been-
terms are not being met.
And they engaged the finance ministry last year, May. They agreed on their bargaining rights, and they were going to get the controller and the ministry to implement it. Then the psychiatry nurses take them on to court for whatever differences they had. And they settled out of court on not until 25th January 2025. So the happiness of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association, the happiness was to see government implement it, which they were going to do. They were happy, they had strike a deal, they were clear. And then they held government on. Now government is continuing. So government went and another government came. So to them is no excuse.
It's
In
continuing.
their side is no excuse. It's like, well, it is the same thing we agreed is what has to be done. Except our nurses, our colleagues took us to court.
Yeah.
So from January, they asked the finance ministry to continue from where the other people stopped. That's the MPP government. And I'm not sure they've been given that fair hearing. So that is where the standoff is. I understand that they were told by finance that they will meet them 18th of June because the Minister of Finance was busy. So basically, it is more of the employer agrees with you. Now we have agreed. We've gone to the financier. He says that, okay, we'll do. Your nurses took you to court. Now, after you out of court settlement, you said, finance, continue. So really, it's not a challenge. It is, frankly, it is not a challenge with a candor because it is not sitting on health. No.
It's a finance matter.
It is not a finance matter with the repercussion in the health sector.
So if the nurses were watching you, would you say to them to give the government some time because they just came in? Or you think 6 months they've enough room to be able to deal with these matters?
I should think like I spoke on City on Friday that I think they've been reasonable. They've given the government 6 months, and your inability to have met them from finance is not good. You should have met them because it's my right. We agreed on. So for 6 months, and you are supposed to meet us, you are not meeting me, then it becomes a contest of ego. Okay, so you don't want to listen to me, then this is what I want to do. And that is where my problem also comes in. When you rush into strike, you rush in and people die and we can't get them back. So for me also, I think the Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association should exercise some level of restraints and exhaust all it takes to have on the table before you withdraw entirely. And also it is for government to give a listening ear. It's your responsibility to be in the room to talk to them. So what are you waiting for?
When Akando was ranking member,
Right.
he stressed your government a lot. He was
Right.
going from one hospital to another agenda, all of those things.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the same thing to him?
Oh, but he is aware that I told him at the budget session that, my brother, you do your work, I do my work, and I'm here to do my work. My work is to make sure that Ghanaians get alternative view and their interests have been taken care of. That's what I'm going to do. So long as we are in the health sector, whatever I have to do, I have to do. And that's got nothing to do with the fact that we work in committee together. I wish him well for what he has to do, but what Ghanaians expect of me to do, we'll do. And what they expect of the minority to do, we are going to do. But as far as this position is concerned, I strongly believe that government would have to sit down with them. They need to. Taking them to court is not right. taking them to court. Can you take, look, so if the doctors strike, you take everybody to court. But look at the Act 625, Section 10. Now you are being told that the health worker is an essential health service person. He or she doesn't go on strike. However, whether you go on strike, you are supposed to have 72 hours to get it resolved. They wrote to the Labour Commission in the Act, you have 72 hours to respond to essential services. They wrote to you, you did not respond to them within the 72 hours. They called a strike, and then you are now going to court that you are essential service, you don't go to court. But when I told you to come and let's talk within the 72 hours, you didn't respect me.
So they may have a case.
They have a case. Yeah. That's why I said the nurses have a case.
So the government should...
So it is for the government to be able to sit down. No. The nurses have a case, and they've waited for 6 months. So for me, the nurses have a case. I only am a Ghanaian on one side who is just asking them that leniency must be in, because when people die, you don't get them back after they give you all your money. Yeah. So for me, let's try to be the last one.
Okay, very well. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 television. The nurses have a case. That's Dr. Afriye. Do Galamseyers have a case? They say that it's a matter of survival, what they are doing. This government has come in. They say that they are going to fight the Galamsey like never before, and that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government failed. How have they fared? The Honourable Member of Parliament is on the Environment Committee. I believe his constituency would have some mining areas. We'll talk to him about that when we come back. Please stay.
Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kuda as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So we've learned one thing: you leave your shoes outside.
Wow. Tuesday, I won't go to Ghana dressed in a Lacoste.
As director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Caleb Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 television. Dr. Afriye, 6 months into the Mahama administration, how is the shape of state looking like?
The shape of the state?
Yes, how is the country?
In terms of governance?
Yes, are we stable? Are we steady? Are we moving well?
Well, they've had their budget, and once you have budget, it means that by the time we see you again for the next budget session, you are going to account for what you did with the money that was given to you. Their teething problems are issues that has been the MPP had faced, like you said, Galamsey issues, and there are other issues that has been there. And we all judge them according to their first year, whatever they are doing. He still enjoys a good will, because definitely when you win elections.
And that's why when they introduce 1 CD on 1 liter of fuel, people are not protesting, but you, minority side, say you are going to demonstrate. Nobody will join you on that demonstration. Or
he still enjoys goodwill, and communication about these things will definitely have to be tactical, because you have your base who may not be still happy with us MPP. They want to hear something, so they are still calm and looking at us. So you don't easily excite them into issues you want them to be excited to follow it. You have some 4.7 million who are happy anytime maybe they want to hear what you want to do, but you have several millions who did not vote, who still want to see or let you do something that would excite them to join you. John Mahama also has 6.something million that voted for, who are happy for anything he does, and they are on. So that is the goodwill. The good is that his people are on and it's there. So whatever you do, you should just calculate the environment and calculate it carefully. And I'm not surprised that you are saying that the one is there. Yeah, we're going to take advantage of it and make nice out of it, because clearly you were anything taxable that we did, you were not, the minority then or now majority were not happy they were on us. So for us, when we get one, we'll say it the whole 4 years. We'll say it and say, so you may not be selling now, but we'll keep saying it. One day when people get fed up and they understand us, they become an issue. So we are in Ghana, so we'll know how to do it.
Sounds like it's a difficult thing being opposition at this time. being an opposition to a government that has won decisively is a difficult
yes,
thing to oppose
really,
them.
really, your strategy should be, you should always reflect to the mood of the people. You should be honest as it is. You should admit yours in the previous government that it didn't go right, and then challenge those in government now on why they have to do it right, because the onus is on them now. And then not be too, I don't believe that you should be too aggressive now whilst you are tidying up in your home. And gradually the goodwill erodes. It erodes because when Ghanaians want food on their table, and then they face fees issues, they face issues that affect their household economy, and the macroeconomy environment is not as it is, and businesses are talking. But naturally, the mood just flies away, and then they face reality. At that point, anything the minority says, everybody follows it and is charged on them.
But for now, the
you
dollar
may
is
not
good.
get it easily. Now you may not get it. Obviously, now the dollar, for whatever reasons,
For the reason of the
for
government.
whatever reasons,
It's the reason of the government.
for the hard works that
for
the hard works that they have gained from the gold reserves, the goodwill that they have had in the system. We wish they can also increase their reserve. A sister station said that for 6 months, if only added 1.6 ton to it, when they had about 30, it's woefully inadequate. They should be adding and piling up some gold, because you need about $12 to $15 billion a year in the economy. So you should have a certain reserve that, on the average, the Abuchi person will see that this guy's got cash in gold. When we misbehave, they will drop money in the system. So then they are careful. But when you hedge in the manner that they tell these people, let's watch them and see, this one is artificial. When they start doing payment and co, man, a lot of payments start going abroad and co, then people will start changing. Demand will go up. Then it becomes artificial. So whatever the reason is, if the MTC says that they claim it, we bless them. It goes well for Ghana, bless you. If it doesn't go well, it's up to you. We hold you accountable. I'm not going to fight this. This one, my brother, your hands are up. I won't fight this one. You understand? Yes.
So
honestly.
But so you said that you have to be tactful, you have to be careful. But now you are going to go on a demonstration against the increase in petrol price. Are you sure it's something you should be doing at this time as a minority side?
There's equalization. They did some to us.
So you do that.
And therefore, we will also do you some.
We can't elevate our politics.
And then some people, the more you do like that, you take such actions, the more they see it registers.
Okay.
So there are some people whose moods are still down, reeling from the loss of the MPP. But when you take such actions, they also see. So we are not doing this to make the NDC people happy. We are using it to also get our base to understand that we are here for them, and what is for them will speak to it.
Okay. Yes. How is the Galamsey situation? You are from the Ashanti region. I don't know whether your constituency has
there's no issue, and in my
but at least you are from the Ashanti region. Mining is a big issue there.
Yeah.
Are things improving in terms of the destruction of our environment?
We see the exposés. We see. I mean, small scale mining is going on. Galamsey is still going on, and now people are saying that it's a matter of time. But when it was under MPP, people didn't know it was a matter of time.
You had 8 years. That was a lot of time.
That was a lot of time. But you would have even credited the MPP for stalling the whole process of mining for a period. It's something I was against last year, and then I came out strongly.
Yeah.
And some of that.
And you were bashed.
No, because they edited it. I said that there are some people in Accra who don't understand what is Galamsey. Yeah. They call small scale Galamsey, which is legitimate, and they call mining in river bodies and coast Galamsey. And I said the mining in the river body is bad and the forest area is bad. That one, nobody should tolerate it. But that Galamsey, that is small scale mining, it is good. And then some sister station officers, they cut their two and said Galamsey should go. Now the reality is facing them. They have seen the need for small scale mining to go on. This is legitimate. EPA is on them. They check the environment. Forestry It's on them. So they do responsible small-scale mining. But somebody think it's not a white man, it's a Ghanaian. So for that one there, you should collapse it. And you had people saying that let us halt all forms of, whether it's a small scale. And I said that is not true. You go to the Volta River, people mine in the Volta River and use dynamite and coal. Go to the Fisheries Commission, they have dossiers on that. Have you ever seen people saying that let us stop all fishing on that? No, you go for those illegitimate ones.
So you don't think that there should be a blanket ban?
How could you have called for that under MPP? I will not do them same, because when you do that, people have mined responsibly small scale mining over 50 years generation. Suddenly you live in the south, you want to think that we those in the middle, we don't have a right to live because you think everything is galamsey. No. So now the government would have to educate the public. Like I was telling them that you sit in Accra, I think galamsey is small scale mining. Small scale mining is not galamsey.
It's an entire business.
It's an entire business. And now you want to cloud the thing, so they were calling it store. Small scale is going to help you. You have a lot of gold coming from them.
And you need
he said,
gold.
Stop. Why do you stop it? You see, but for those illegal ones, you have to go after them. Those are the ones that if you go in, me have not done one. That's where you said the politicians are doing and the rest are doing.
That's why Iyoko has not called you.
Sorry?
That's why Iyoko has not called you.
No, me, you called me for what? No, but you see, for Chairman to me is only, like I said in Asempa last week, we are going to beg. I don't think that the hand behind this, I said in Asempa, I said the hand behind this is bigger than the people who run the Iyokos and the intelligence agencies. This one, I put it at the doorstep of President Mahama. You know, who to me went overboard in some of his videos. And yesterday, I played a lot of them to show him, because I said on air.
You met him?
Yes.
And you told
him?
On
this subject, I told him, I said it on air last week. It's circulated. I said we will go and beg if we have to kneel down in front of President Mahama. We'll tell you that for this video and this video that he did, boss, this one, he crossed the line. Because I've done AFAC.
When you met him and you told him, did he agree that he
agreed.
Would he change? Would he change? Would there be a change of tone?
He's seen, you've seen some, he went very personal. You see, and the president is the president. Trump is Trump, like you said. Democracy established in America. Yeah. He's just, he wakes up and what he wants to do, he's just doing. Yeah. He got the power. So if somebody feels it was a political talk, we did AFAC, we were hot.
Yeah.
We didn't, under Mills, we didn't face this. Under Mahama, we didn't face this. So for somebody now having to go that hall, it means some line was crossed. And that was a very personal line, which was not true. Yeah. See, when it's very personal, but for politics on any day, President Mahama, I will give it to him. That one, no 2 ways about it's my job.
But when it's not true,
information, you that one, then he says, okay, all right, let's settle the scores. So this one, they will go and beg.
Please go to President Mahama, Dr. Effiduase, and a number of MP people will come to Jubilee House. They say they are coming to beg.
They are coming to beg.
For on behalf of.
But after we beg, to where we get to, we'll deal with it. But on this issue, they come beg. We will come and beg.
Very well. So that's by way of face-to-face on Channel 1 Television today. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Thank you so much for joining us.